What's going on, guys? It's Cater here, back for a new episode of This Week in Wrestling. I know this is weird because this is a Thursday. Usually This Week in Wrestling is on Saturday. I will explain all that and more on this episode of This Week in Wrestling. So like today's video, make sure you hit that like button, comment down below, and during the chat if you want to just talk about stuff. We talk about the Great Balls of Fire, Fallout, Raw, Smackdown, NXT, 205 Live, the usual stuff. Since this review probably a little bit more longer than usual, since we got to go with Great Balls of Fire review. As of right now, Ron is not with me today. He is currently out somewhere, but he did tweet me or message me through Twitter saying that if he does show where I'm still airing, when he comes home, he will definitely join me. So if I'm still in the air, Ron, you will know. So just message me. And if you want to join, by all means, go ahead and join. I know this is late notice. So if you do join, I do really appreciate it and thank you. You know, this is like a late notice thing. So do apologize for that. Now, first, let me just see if I can actually hear myself on YouTube, since I always got to check. I am OCD when it comes to that. So do apologize for that. Now, okay. So I can hear myself. I am not crazy. Got it. All right. So sorry about that, guys. Actually, hold on. I think I just said something. Okay. So not crazy. Gotcha. All right. So what was I about to say? Okay, so the reason why it's on Thursdays now is because, well, it's two reasons. I had to do the show on Thursday this week anyway because I'm working night shift at my job because one of my employees, they are currently on vacation for 2 weeks, I believe 2 weeks, yeah. Or she might be coming back next week, who knows. So I had to take her night shift since I live around the corner from Dunkin' Donuts from where I live. I have to do her night shift, so I'll be doing Friday from 4 p.m. to 10, and on Saturday, 3 to 10 at night. So I have to close the store. So that's the reason why I can't do it on Saturday, because at 7 o'clock I'll be at work. So I can't do This Week in Wrestling if I'm at work. So yeah, there's that. Besides that, that is one reason why I had to do it this Thursday. So regardless, it was going to happen on this Thursday. But also the reason why I decided to move This Week in Wrestling. So there's an official announcement. From now on, moving forward, unless otherwise, This Week in Wrestling will now be on Thursdays. Part of the reason is because I feel like it will be better off on the Thursday instead of a Saturday, because Saturday, it's already at the end of the week. I know the whole point is This Week in Wrestling. So you come right there having wrestling that week. But I feel like Thursday, because after NXT, that's usually all the main wrestling for day week for that day. Yes, I know, as I'm currently talking right now, there was the they did their Facebook thing for like their cruiserweights. The Mae Young competitors, they did that, so I'm gonna look at that right after I'm done with this. So I had to look forward to that. See, so stuff happens on a Thursday when it comes to wrestling, but I'm moving to Thursday not only because of that. So again, the first reason is because Wednesday is NXT, so Thursday there's another wrestling for the rest of the week. So I figured, why not, right? And the other reason is because I actually plan doing something on Saturdays now, even if I have work or not. I actually do plan on doing something else on Saturdays, which will be revealed sooner rather than later on my YouTube channel. You'll be some interesting stuff. So hope you guys enjoy what's been coming. I officially probably announce them within the next week or two what I'll be doing on my Saturdays, so you'll understand why I can't do This Week in Wrestling on Saturdays anymore. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it in terms of announcement. So moving forward, This Week in Wrestling will be now on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless otherwise. Let's just get right into the news, shall we? First things first. I can't even speak right. Okay, so I'm OCD when it comes to news and stuff. But first thing first in the world of news. Oh yeah, since I am by myself, there would be breaks because I am by myself. Since I don't want to talk a lot, I'm like run out of breath because we basically talk me for like an hour or two. So the less Ron shows up, it's going to be the breaking news and stuff that happened this week, along with the Great Balls of Fire review. Then there will be a break, Raw break, Smackdown break, and then 205 Live and NXT. So there you go. Those will probably be the breaks for that. So moving on though to the breaking news. Global Force Wrestling announced the definitive suspension of Bertel Patron. Now, Global Force Wrestling just issued the following. Global Force Wrestling is indefinitely suspended Berto Patron, effective immediately until the investigation is resolved following a recent incident in Orlando, Florida. Now, you're probably wondering why. What the hell am I talking about? Berto Patron, if you don't know, is the current Global Force Wrestling champion. I do believe they unified it with the Impact champion. They're currently holding 2 titles. I don't know. I don't watch Impact Wrestling or whatever the hell it's called now. I'm still going to call it TNA because that's what it was. So, yeah. Basically, you don't know. TMZ, that's going to fall. TMZ reported that Alberto Patron was in a domestic abuse incident. Police were under investigation. They didn't specifically say the female. We all believed it was Paige. Paige tried to lie on Twitter and say that it was nothing to do with that. And she was just upset about her grandfather, and the woman was talking about something and really upset her. That's why I really got into it. It's starting to believe more and more that it was because of an incident that happened involving Paige. So I'm reading this report. Since the initial report, members of the Paige family had come out publicly against Patron, while Paige herself had claimed the incident was one that was caused by a woman throwing water on Brother Del Rio after Paige received bad news about her sick uncle. However, that woman has came forward and was interviewed by Heavy.com, saying that she was the one that recorded the audio that was published by TMZ, claiming that the argument between the two included allegations made by Paige of drug use by Patron in 2 days leading to the incident. So there you go. That's the whole thing. So we don't know officially. All speculation is leaning the fact that there was domestic abuse between Paige and Alberto Patron. Regardless, though, there's also a report today that they got back together. So it doesn't even matter. It didn't happen because they got back together. But it does matter to the point where the fact that, yes, we know Alberto Patron is very abusive. We don't know why Paige is even still with him. There's also reports the fact that he's doing this on purpose, or they're both doing this on purpose to give them a reason for Paige to get released from WWE since her contract doesn't expire within another year or two, I believe. So they're trying to get her out of her contract, so she'll be free from WWE, so she can do whatever she wants with WWE or come to Global Force Wrestling. Who knows what they're doing? Oh, this whole situation is just crazy. The whole situation is just ridiculous and crazy. But the Rowan is a piece of garbage, in my opinion, if this comes out to be true. Paige, despite all the crap that she's been doing this past year or two with WWE in terms of suspensions, that footage with Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox, and just all this stuff is just. I personally don't think Paige will ever come back to WWE. Even if she does, me and my brother was talking about how she could appear, she won't appear on TV definitely at all. Because again, back, how do you think their fans' reaction is going to be after all of this? Not only do you worry about the whole Xavier Woods, Brad Maddox thing, but how can Paige possibly be brought back on TV in a good light? Even if she did return as a heel, it doesn't change the fact that Paige can be brought back. I don't personally think she will ever be brought back today. Personally, after I think the person's just gonna wait until her contract ends, pay her whatever money they have to pay her, just release her there because she's just trouble and so crazy because when she first debuted on the main roster, she was the diva. She was the only woman to hold 2 women's titles at the same time, the Divas title and the NXT Women's title. So it's what is happening? What happened to Paige? What really happened to Paige? We don't know. It's crazy. It really is. Alberto Patron, he retired company for 1 year, less than a year actually. And he was just caused all this crap. Now he's currently just trying to threaten Triple H to kick Triple H's ass. He's the first. I don't know what the hell Triple H is. As far as I know, I'm trying to think back. I don't think Triple H ever even fought him in the match before, so it's not like he buried him or anything. So it's I don't know what the hell Alberto Patron is mad at in terms of Triple H. It's kind of funny when you think about it, but yeah, I just really don't know what's up with them, and yeah, it's a ridiculous scene all around. It's crazy. It's just ridiculous. Hopefully nothing bad happens to Paige. I'm not wishing any bad things happen to Paige, but she kind of did this on herself if we're getting with Roberto. And it's they tried to, it's funny when you think about it, they tried to break up, intentionally break up their relationship in the first place by putting Paige on Raw and Roberto Del Rio on SmackDown, but it clearly didn't even work out anyway because this crap is still going on. So yeah, but there's goes that bit of news. The other bit of news that Jeff Jarrett feels whether or not the Hardys have obtained the rights to the broken gimmick. Now this is where crap gets interesting. I just want to make sure I still hear my audio. Okay, so this is where this crap gets interesting, and what I mean by that is because Jeff Jarrett revealed that they've been talking, but no, they haven't yet, and they're still working on. However, you know, the one on Twitter, that one, she was saying how they actually they had a agreement with it last week, but they couldn't bring it up, and she was talking about how like if she says bad things about them on Twitter, she had to find them, she had to pay them $5,000 every time she said something bad. Whatever, and Matt Hardy seems like to support this claim as well. So it seems actually, I don't know why Jeff Jarrett seems like just gonna lie about it, but it seems like they are able to actually use the gimmick now. So just a matter of time. It seems like they're slowly going to that point anyway, because on Raw, the Hardy Boys really made they really made reference to their broken gimmick. As Jeff Hardy said, fade away and classify himself as obsolete. And then Matt Hardy said they are beaten, bruised, and broken. Like it just seems like they are actually going to move forward with the broken gimmick. And what better people to test it out on than the Revival, because the Revival actually made their return on Raw and they attacked them. So it seemed like that's the feud heading into SummerSlam. It'll be very interesting to say the least, too. The Revival versus the Hardys at SummerSlam. Holy crap. Maybe Gallus and Anderson might get involved since they were also in that match on Raw, but we'll talk more about Raw when we actually get to Raw. But otherwise, yeah, that's that in terms of the broken gimmick. Maybe it might happen one day. Probably before, they're probably going to light it up before SummerSlam. So like actually have that big SummerSlam build going with it. So yeah, there's that. And now we'll move on to the actual Great Balls of Fire review. And by God, what a show in terms of matches and everything. Like this was something else. This show was something else. Like at least the one thing to come out is that we had I'll just hold on. Let me just get my sip of water. All right, so let's get started. First off with the pre-show, you know, shouldn't have been on a freaking pre-show. Well, first off, Great Ball of Fire was highlighted by the fact that the whole pay-per-view was centered around the fact that this was Brock Lesnar's first title defense since winning Universal title back at WrestleMania, and his challenger was Samoa Joe. So with that in mind, let's go on. First things first was the kickoff match with the Cruiserweight title, as now defending his title against Akira Tozawa. The kickoff match, it shouldn't have been on the kickoff match, but they still decided to put it on there anyway. They couldn't have any other possible match. I can understand why to a point, because they had that 30-minute Iron Man match. So either I believe one or two things. Either A, they wanted to give the Cruiserweights as much time as they needed, or B, they realized, oh crap, we have an Iron Man match at the last second. They had to put on kickoff. So regardless, it was a good match. It was a match of the night. Obviously, the Iron Man match, I'm already spoiling what I said was match of the night. But it's the match of the night, like hands down. But in terms of this match, this was really it was good. Not again, sadly, I get the trilogy that Austin Aries and Neville had for the Cruiserweight title. Now you can compete with that. So it's like Akira Tozawa. I love Akira. He's not one of my top 3 cruiserweights, but he was good. Made good showing in the match. Akira really seemed hands-on about it. He was really giving it to Neville for the most part. During the end of the match, Neville was able to get Akira somehow on top of the ropes when he was trying to do a move on there, and he got caught. So Neville used that advantage, kicked the ropes, hit him in the groin area, did a kick to the stomach. Oh, I guess near the groin area. 1, 2, 3. Neville. It was a weird. The finish was weird. I will admit that the finish itself was weird, but Neville still retained, still cruiserweight champion. I thought the feud was going to be done right here, but based on what happened on Raw and 205 Live, it's not over yet between the two. I don't know this match for me to rematch at SummerSlam. I think that's going to be leading into something else. I with the whole backstage stuff that's happening, I have no idea. But in terms of that, yeah, Overall, good match from Akira Tozawa. I'm sad it was part of the kickoff show. Maybe it might have a different ending if it was on the kickoff show. But regardless, good showing from Cruiserweights. I just still miss Austin Aries. It's been a week, but I still miss him. Still miss him, Austin Aries. I don't know what happened until you actually say something. Actually, wow, it's funny. Anytime I mention him, let's just see if he actually said something on Twitter. I do follow him on Twitter, but still, what if has Austin Aries actually said anything about this? He has yet to comment. So this is ridiculous. Anything else? Actually got a little bit cool. I can feel it. Actually got a little bit cool. That's actually awesome. I'm not as hot as I was. So, wow, it's actually raining outside. Interesting. Moving on to the actual main show, the first match was Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. Now, the match itself was good. It was a good match. Do not get me wrong. It was definitely a good match. The issue is I feel like with the fans that they weren't connected as they should have been. Because, again, the story going into this was just kind of weird. The story itself was kind of confusing and weird. It all started just because Seth Rollins said something about Bray Wyatt. People say stuff all the time. That's why I guess the fans really couldn't believe it. Again, the key thing I kept stressing on and pointing out that they just started from the get-go. The whole thing was that Seth Rollins, all he had to say was, you always talk so much game, but you can never back up because you always lose. You can preach about everything, but you always lose. That's what he should have said. And that would have been the whole focus on the feud. The whole focus on the feud would have been Bray Wyatt. Proving Seth Rollins wrong that, no, I'm not all talk. I am a god, and you will understand why I'm a god. That's all it had to be, but it was just weird. It was so weird. But the match, don't take away from the match itself. The match talking to. If he was into the feud, if you understood what the feud was trying to accomplish, the match itself was amazing. Very good opening match. Both guys really showed off their skills, why they're the top contenders on Raw. I could just tell the fans were just like, they were into but not into it because it was like they probably understand why they was fighting in the freaking first place, which I get to a point. But basically how the match really ended was the fact that Bray Wyatt was able to do a thumb to the eye, Seth Rollins without the referee looking, hits the Abigail, and Bray Wyatt won the match. Good match, good opening match. I had no issue with it personally. Now, where does this leave Bray Wyatt? Because we know what's going to be happening with Seth Rollins following what happened on Raw. But for Bray Wyatt, where does this go for Bray Wyatt? He could since they wrapped up the I won't spoil it, but since they've wrapped up one feud, I guess they can actually go along with this feud that probably headed to SummerSlam. That has been rumored for months, ever since Bray Wyatt came to Raw with the Superstar Shakeup. This has been the feud they've been trying to do. So I think that's the reason. Actually, it all makes sense. That's the reason why they gave Bray Wyatt the win on pay-per-view, make him look strong, because he's probably going to be losing the feud overall down the line when it comes down to it. Was about to happen with Bray Wyatt, so I can understand why it all makes sense now, especially after Raw when they just did the match. I thought it was going to be a Great Ball to Fire. I know I'm speaking in code, but you understand what I'm talking about when we get to the Raw review. So, yeah. Moving on to Big Cass versus Enzo. This came about because Big Cass, the shock material, he was the one who got revealed to be the fact that he is the one attacking Enzo all those weeks. He turned on his friend. This has been building up for almost 5 years. The match 5 years in making, to say the least. Before the match itself, Enzo actually had a very passionate promo. Something similar to what he did on last week's Raw. And it's really raining outside. Jesus. Something similar happened on Raw. And because of that, that's the reason why my connection looks off on my playback on YouTube looks off now. It all makes sense. But yeah. Cut a very passionate promo on Raw and similar one right here on Great Balls of Fire. I can hear the rain. Hopefully it's not really affecting my podcast. But you can hear it. His passion. He said, yeah, if I'm not going down without a fight. Like, I'm going to be fighting my heart out in this match instead of a squash match for the most part. Big Cass just Enzo really didn't have any offense, and Big Cass it was pretty much just a squash match. Big Cass ended with like the big boot after the big boot 1, 2, 3, and I love what the refs. I love how the commentaries emphasize the fact that pretty much where they're headed. They said Big Cass is headed for big things, and Enzo on the other hand is motivated as Enzo is, and as showed with Raw, we know what Big Cass doing. Enzo, we have no idea. Now for Big Cass, as I just said, we know what he's doing. He's probably more than likely going to have a match at SummerSlam. Won't reveal what. Based on the events that happened Raw, seems kind of obvious. For Enzo, we didn't see Enzo on Raw. Now the funny part about me mentioning both of these people, right? As the news that I read today, see that's why I feel like it's perfect doing it on Thursday because the news is recent and relevant. It actually happened today. What happened was there's apparently some backstage heat for both Enzo and Big Cass. In terms of Enzo, whatever he did, it got to the point where the locker room was irritated with even Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns got all bad, kick him out of us. I guess Roman Reigns is not only the biggest scumbag of the earth, but he's also acting like the Undertaker now. He really like took over the Undertaker's vessel and just like became like his yard because he was usually the leader of the locker room, but now I guess Roman Reigns is whoever the hell appointed him leader. I really want to know about that. But yeah, there's that, and also for Big Cass, he has apparently got some heat because he's actually in full support of Donald Trump. We're not gonna get into politics right here on This Week in Wrestling. We don't really have to get into politics. That's for another time. But they're putting just some heat on him. But there won't be as much heat for Big Cat because he's the age really in terms of the creative team backstage people. They actually like Big Cat, so that really won't affect him. But for Enzo, I don't know what the fate of him is. Again, there was rumors about him going to 05 Live because he would be part of the Cruiserweight division and really boost up the Cruiserweight division. I kept saying and stressing it out. 205 Live needs the babyface. They need a top babyface now since Austin Aries is gone. Austin Aries, why did you have to leave? So they really need that top Jack Gallagher and Rich Swann, and Grandma Leak if they would actually use Grandma Leak, but since they won't, we can just go from there, and hopefully Enzo could be the top person at 205 Live. Depending on how the Secure and Neville feud is going, I think the main Cruiserweight match for SummerSlam will be Neville versus Enzo for the Cruiserweight title. I feel like that's a marquee match for SummerSlam. They'll actually. So with that being said, I think that'll be Enzo's fate, but Big Cass' fate, you'll have to find my review what happened with him. Overall, though, the match itself was fine. I mean, we already knew what was going to happen with Big Cat. It was pretty much going to be a squash match. I thought Enzo might pull out like a roll-up somewhere, but nope, that didn't happen like that. So, yeah. Moving on to the match of the night itself. The Raw Tag Team titles were on the line. Cesaro and Sheamus defend their titles in the 30-minute Iron Man match. Oh, this reminded me of the tag team wrestling that we see at NXT with Jenga Guard Revival. Like, this was just calculated perfectly, like all the moments, like as soon as the bell rung, Cesaro was able to trick Matt Hardy into Sheamus with the bro kick. It seemed like for the most part that Sheamus Cesaro was done because they had a 2-0 lead over the Hardys at first, and then Hardy was able to get back in it, and it was like, and then started Sheamus Cesaro again, and it was like a 3-1, and then Hardy was able to do a 3-2, and it was just like moments like, wow, are they actually going to Cesaro's actually going to really just dominate the Hardys, or the Hardys actually going to come back and do it. The story there was actually beautiful. I don't know what happened at one point near the end of the match. Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy both got on top sides and Matt Hardy did a I think leg drop, and Matt Hardy did Matt Hardy did a splash on Sheamus' head, and Jeff Hardy did I think it was a leg drop or another splash. Regardless, Matt Hardy, he cut his eye. He cut the edge his eye right here, and it was gushing blood. Matt Hardy looked ridiculous. It was something. It was a sight to see. I'll definitely tell you that. Near the end of the match, basically, what Jeff Hardy didn't realize was that Cesaro was the one tagged in the whole time. So once he hit the Swanton bomb of Sheamus, he didn't realize the fact that, oh crap, Cesaro. Oh, that's why he got screwed, because Jeff Hardy hit the Swanton bomb of Sheamus, and in actuality, Cesaro was the one who was the illegal person. So as soon as he was able to cover him with the roll up and hold Jeff Hardy so he get the count of 3, so he was able to become 3-2, and then Jeff Hardy got irritated, realized it was 15 seconds, he was chasing Cesaro around the ring. He was able to hit the twist of fate on Cesaro once he got in the ring, but it was only 2 seconds left, and it was too late because the referee tried to count. It went to 0. So Shane Cesaro, for the first time, has actually beaten the Hardys one-on-one. I mean, without like any stipulation, it was able to actually beat the Hardys. In terms of the fact, now it's controversial. What do you mean by beaten? They won. They barely won because their Hardys was one time. Unless if there was an extra second one that clocked the Hardys, it would have been tied up. But we can officially say now the whole. I feel like the story they was trying to tell was the fact that the other sub story besides whatever feud they're having right now, Cesaro has yet to actually beat the Hardys one-on-one, like through pinfall or submission or whatever. Count this because it was the Iron Man match. So it was multiple falls and decisions and stuff. But like, so this is the first time James Cesaro really actually had an upper hand against the Hardys. So like that was definitely something else. It was overall match of the night though, just incredible. Matt just shows that they can still go despite their age. Cesaro and Sheamus was amazing. The psychology and just the way they were going about how to go about this match, make sure the Hardys won't get a pinfall, won't let them break the streak that he was going for in terms of decisions. It was just incredible showing from all 4 of these men. It was match of the night in my opinion. As for Sheamus and Cesaro, we don't know what their fate are. They didn't actually appear on Raw as far as I remember. They actually didn't appear on Raw, so we don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't know who can be next in contention for a tag team title. Maybe after that big win on Raw, I already revealed it. So I don't have to like try to spoil you guys before I get into my Raw review. Gallows Anderson might maybe be like next in line, but the issue with that is like, how's it going to work? They're both heels. I mean, we can have a heel tag team championship match at SummerSlam. I mean, based on how NXT is going, we can. There's nothing wrong with a heel versus heel team like competing for a title. It's not unheard of where a face versus face for a title happens heel versus heel. So maybe with that big win over the Hardys, Gallows Anderson might be next in line for the Raw tag team titles. Who knows? And now since they're both working as heels, who knows what's going to happen there? But in terms of Matt and Jeff, as I mentioned before, they're referencing the broken gimmick match after they lost against Gallows and Anderson. Revival made their return and attacked the Hardys. So I feel like that's their next feud, and the broken gimmick will be unleashed on them. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes from there in terms of Matt and Jeff. Overall, match of the night, in my opinion. Incredible stuff. Cesaro and Sheamus. What a match, in my opinion. Moving on to Sasha Banks versus the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's. The match itself was fine. It was nothing like, I wouldn't say like this was like women's match. Like this was like the women's match of the year candidate. Both showing from both men. This is like I said men, women. I think this is actually the first time these two have actually fought each other one-on-one. Okay, I don't recall them ever fighting each other on NXT. I'm trying to remember. I'm legit trying to remember. I think that Bliss was a fit. Yeah, I think that I take that back. They did fight. I do recall. I remember like in 2015 when Sasha became champion, they did actually fight once before. So, but both ironically, the roles were reversed. Sasha was the heel, Alexa Bliss was the face at the time. So the roles were actually reversed. Now, as Sasha Banks is and Alexa Bliss as the heel. Very good stuff. Again, Alexa Bliss probably did the most. First of all, that hand joint that she does when it seems like her arm is broken, it's not beautiful. I don't know how the hell it's me every time I think her arm is actually broken. I mean, definitely the first time Lynch on SmackDown for that SmackDown Women's title match when they were in England, I believe. London, England, I believe. But yeah, it was amazing in my opinion. Amazing. But basically how that match ended, Sasha Banks was able to hit Alexa Bliss out the ring. Alexa Bliss said, you know what? F it. I feel like I can't beat her at the moment, so I'm getting myself counted out. That's exactly what Alexa Bliss did. So Sasha Banks won the match. Alexa Bliss just the title can't change him via disqualification or count out. So there's that. And because of that, this retained Sasha Banks angry. She didn't let her go scot-free. She ran up to her and attacked her while she was trying to leave. Put her on the table. She was able to do her jumping knee thing, you know, when she jumps off the rope and does her knee thing to your face. And she's showed that, hey, I'm not done with you yet, basically. Kind of like Braun Strowman when you think about it. Like, I'm not done with you in terms of Raw Women's title. I will get a shot at that. That's basically what she was saying. So overall, the Raw Women's Championship was fine. Nothing really write home about since it didn't count out. I feel like this is going to lead to their match at SummerSlam. Now, apparently, there's a rumor going around there's going to be a fatal four-way match at SummerSlam for Raw Women's title. With that being said, I feel like it's going to be Sasha, Alexa, Bayley, and Nia Jax. Those are the four most prominent women they've been focusing on. Not really Bayley. She's been buried. There's like for almost past months, but I feel like they're going to try to put Bayley back into the match. Maybe might be a heel turn from Bayley, or might be a heel turn from Sasha at SummerSlam. Who knows? I mean, the match itself isn't official, so there's that. We can only just believe what the rumors and dirt sheets say. So there's that. Overall, fine match in my opinion. Nothing really wrong with it. Nothing really right home about it, but there's nothing wrong with it at all. Moving on to the Intercontinental title matches. Miz defended his Intercontinental title against Dean Ambrose. The match was fine. It wasn't like their match like on Extreme Rules of that episode of Monday Night Raw. It was fun. I know. I feel like it got cut because of that 30-minute Iron Man match. I feel like there was more to it than that. The match itself was perfect, though. They didn't make Dean Ambrose look weak because basically how the match ended, Dean Ambrose was fighting off the Miz and Miz Taraj, but Curtis Axel, I think it was Curtis Axel. No, it was Bo Dallas. It was Bo Dallas. It was either Bo. I'm gonna have to look it up, don't I? I don't want to be wrong. It was because of. Yeah, it was Bo Dallas. So because of Bo Dallas, Dean was able to take out both Miz and Curtis Axel, but the referee was distracted. But because Bo Dallas was able to attack Ambrose's head from behind, Miz was able to hit the skull crushing finale, and because of that, Miz is still the Intercontinental Champion. And it's just the numbers game from Ambrose. He just can't handle it. Now we know where both of these futures lie. Because of Raw, we know what's happening because of theirs. I won't really spoil that until you get to my Raw review, but you understand what's going to happen once you get to Raw. Overall, though, fine match in my opinion. It was perfectly fine. That one of their best title matches, Intercontinental title matches between the two that they had. They had some good ones on Smackdown and Raw. Again, the Raw and the Extreme Rules one was very excellent as well. It wasn't as good as them, but it was still up there. We'll see what happened with them on Raw. Now we get to the match. The match that everybody's talking about. The match that revealed Roman Reigns' attempted murderer. Hold on. We talk about Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns in an ambulance match. What a freaking match. It was a match of the night, but it was still something else. Mainly because of after what happened after the match. Over the match itself was perfectly fine. Every time these two go at it, they have good chemistry. Despite how I feel about Roman Reigns, I'm not going to deny the fact that he is a round competitor. Like he can wrestle, like not probably the best wrestler, but he can definitely wrestle. And Braun Strowman has improved so much over this past year, so it's like there's nothing really to that. Highlights of this match, in my opinion, was that when Roman Reigns tried to Braun Strowman straight and infect him at all, he said, "Hit me, bitch," and it was hilarious. I had definitely admit that it was definitely hilarious. How the match ended because of Roman's stupidity, but still, I guess that didn't matter to him after what he did after the match. But how the match ended, Roman tried to spear on Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman was like lynched, like hung over the ambulance. Braun Strowman, being the smart one, moving to the side. Roman Reigns like dived right into the open ambulance because he tried to do the spear. Closed the thing. Braun Strowman officially won the match. All the ambulance guy had to do was just take Roman away, and that was it. And for some strange reason, the ambulance guy didn't do that. Roman Reigns opened the door. He speared Braun through. He speared Braun when he opened the door. When he jumped from the ambulance, he was able to put Braun Strowman into the ambulance. We cut to Roman Reigns driving Braun Strowman away like fast, very fast, to the parking lot in the arena, and Roman Reigns just looked in the mirror. He full force Road went in reverse and slammed Braun Strowman slammed the back of the ambulance with Braun Strowman in the back, mind you, all the way to the production truck and crushed the back of the ambulance. Kurt Angle's shocked face was like the best. It was grief of the night or meme of the night, in my opinion, with the shock face that he had. So yeah, there's that. So Roman Reigns attempted murder because when Kurt Angle was saying, "Hey, somebody call 911," the first thing I thought the police was gonna come. Roman Reigns was gonna get arrested. Freaking happen because during the Kurt Hawkins and Heath Slater return, which I will not talk about because we didn't actually get to see the match itself, there's no point in actually talking about it. What happened was Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, after they was able to get him out, Braun Strowman was able to walk, like, even though he was falling out for the most part, walk on his own 2 feet. And just say, just leave me alone, just leave the arena. With just blood in his mouth, blood on the side. It looked like a scene straight out of a horror movie, but Braun Strowman was able to walk out by himself. Now, people were saying this was a double turn where Braun Strowman turned face and Roman Reigns was finally able to turn heel. Based on the events of Monday Night Raw, that wasn't the case at all, at least for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns still face, as if you really want to call it that. But for Braun Strowman, I don't know if he's considered a face or heel or not. So based on a rumored match at SummerSlam, if it truly is a Fatal 4-Way, I'm not going to say the reason why it's Fatal 4-Way, then Braun Strowman has to be a face in that. They're going to have 2 heels in it. But, yeah, he's going to have to be a face in that one in this regard. I don't know why it's just Roman Reigns after we try to freaking kill him. So Roman Reigns is actually attempted murderer. Good job, WWE, making your face try to be attempted murderer. I don't know why on Raw he wasn't arrested, but we'll get to Raw when we get to it. And I mean, yeah. Again, I'm gonna skip the Heath Slater Kurt Hawkins match. I couldn't even see the match. It was so focused on freaking Braun Strowman, so I wasn't able to look at the match. And then we go on to the main event itself, the match that the whole event was centered around Brock Lesnar defending his Universal title against Samoa Joe. It was a less than 5-minute match, but in those 5 minutes, they something incredible. What a match for less than 5 minute match. What a match regardless, because before the match even technically started, before the bell even rang, Samoa Joe attacked from behind, did a what the hell is it called? A freaking Uranage slam through the table for Brock Lesnar. So he was already injured Brock Lesnar before the match even started. When the bell actually rang, Samoa Joe was trying to continue to try to put the coquina clutch in the match. They would hit suplexes, but even after he hit the suplexes, he was still able to chop on him with coquina clutch. At one point, Brock Lesnar was about to fade into existence with the coquina clutch, but Samoa Joe was caught by Brock Lesnar for that one instant. He was able to hit the dive on Samoa Joe. 1, 2, 3. That was it. Brock Lesnar is still Universal Champion. But what a showing from this right here was probably Samoa Joe's best main roster match ever since coming to the main roster, even though it was less than 5-minute match still. The amount of intensity, because Samoa Joe took it Brock Lesnar. First time since Goldberg, Brock Lesnar actually, he was humanized. He realized, oh crap, I actually might lose this one, and dominantly get loosed by this dominant guy here. So he was able to have to pull out that F5 right out of his ass and just hit it 1, 2, 3. So, but this match probably was Samoa Joe's best match on the main roster so far. Because after the whole even pay-per-view went off the air, I saw the video of him, the people chanting "Thank you, Joe." So it's they really respect what he did. Overall, it was a good main event. It was 5 minutes. I wish it was a little bit longer so they could tell the story of how, oh crap, Samoa Joe, they put a coquina clutch in. But Brock Lesnar was still able, with his might, able to hit the F5 and hit 1, 2, 3. That's how I would have booked. He would actually put him in the actual try to. But not the whole match. It's 4 minutes, so I can't really complain about that. Which I think is the reason why they put a 30-minute Iron Man match in there, because they knew how long the main event was going to be. But if that was the case, they could have put the Cruiserweight match kickoff show and put Goldust and R-Truth instead of having Raw having on the kickoff show. And there you go. But overall, the match itself was fine. Where does Brock Lesnar go from here? Samoa Joe two played big parts in each other's way. And overall, the Great Balls Fire itself pay-per-view was decent. I mean, it was good for being the Great Balls Fire pay-per-view. It was actually very, very good. Again, match of the night in my opinion was the cruiserweight. I said cruiserweight. Iron Man, 30-minute, first time ever 30-minute tag team Iron Man match for Raw tag team titles. I thought that was like match of the night in my opinion. It was not one bad match. I can't say Heath Slater Crawl was a bad match. I actually didn't see it, but it was not one bad. I would say controversial and not reported opinion like the Alexa Bliss Sasha Banks match, but everybody who needed to win, they won. Great Balls Fire was a good pay-per-view overall. Before we get to Raw, guys, I'm gonna take like a quick 5-minute break, and I will see you guys with the Monday Night Raw review. So give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Just taking this break, and we'll get into Monday Night Raw. All right, guys, I am back. Sorry about that. It was a little longer than I thought because my mom, the food was ready. So I brought my food up here so I don't have to actually, when I take my next break, I don't have to actually go downstairs to do whatever. I got my food right here while I'm looking at some stuff. So here I got my other drink. So there's that as well. It's still hot as hell. With it even still being rain, first of all, with the rain still happening, it is still hot as hell. First, let me just make sure I can hear myself. So, yeah, even with the rain, it's still hot as hell. And help matters how to get another drink, some a lot of ice in it. There's that. Our next week will be after Raw. Raw might be a lengthy talk indeed. So there's that. So let's get started. Raw. One thing I wanted to mention with Great Balls of Fire, one thing I forgot to mention was that you could see after Brock Lesnar walked out, the look in Smojo's face, you could tell it wasn't over. Not over by a long shot. It was not over. And that led into what happened on Raw. The whole thing leading into Raw was the main highlight on Raw leading into it was the aftermatch of freaking Great Balls of Fire. All the crap that happened. Like, what the hell's going on? First things first is with Big Cass. Big Cass came out and he was basically saying how, yes, as you saw Great Balls of Fire, I am the guy from Enzo and Cass. Enzo is nobody. He was like legit nobody. Nothing. Nobody. He couldn't get touched. Like, he couldn't even do anything with him. He showed some highlights on the screen how he basically annihilated Enzo. He was saying now he's the top guy now. He has the eye on the future. And the future is Brock Lesnar and his Universal title. He's going to main event Raw. I mean, he's going to be the top player in Raw. He's going to have his sign billboard everywhere. He's going to be going on with the Universal title. He's going to main event WrestleMania. All the stuff that a typical heel was basically going to say, or a typical face, as you think it would say, but he's obviously a heel. Big Cass has new music. I forgot to say Great Ball Fire. He had introduced new music. Wait, there's some of the memes were hilarious because it was just again Great Balls Fire. Well, first thing first, Great Big Cass, when he was walking, the camera angle made it the worst thing ever. Because it looked like he said big ass instead of big Cass on the Titantron. Hilarious. Same thing with Sasha Banks. It says when Sasha was blocking one of the things with Great Balls Fire going around the ring, it looked like Sasha and it said, it looked like it said eat balls. So it was like basically saying Sasha eat balls. It was something else. Hilarious memes. You gotta love the internet. Hilarious stuff from the internet. Basically, after that, Big Cat thing and stuff about that, what he's gonna do. Big Show made his return. We haven't seen Big Show in like a few months, I would definitely say. So, actually, you have to be Big Show in a month after he got allegedly was the one who was attacking, and so obviously turned out to be Big Cass. Those two had a stare down. Big Cass looked like he was saying something to Big Show, saying like, "Yo, man, you really want to do this? You want to do this?" Big Show didn't look confused. He threw around Enzo like he was nothing. Enzo got out of the ring. He didn't want none of that, so he's like, "Nah, screw that." So, he didn't want none of that at all. So there was that. Overall, I thought it was a good opening segment. The fact they will even open with Big Cass so that they do have some high in the future in terms of wrestling, whatever they plan on doing with him. I don't know how that was. Like they do have some high hopes with him in the future in terms of what they're going to do with him. He might one day have a Universal title shot, like probably by the end before WrestleMania 35. I could definitely see that he might have it, depending on who's champion, but he might definitely have it. If Brock Lesnar is not champion, I think they found a way to get the belt off Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, which we'll go over in a second. Big Show. Glad to see him back. Glad he's actually doing something. I feel like he's going to be part of SummerSlam. I guess this is probably might lead into a Big Show versus Big Cass matches. They haven't made it official. I feel like this was the seeds planted into the Big Show versus Big Cass match. That got planted a couple weeks ago when we was trying to figure out who the hell was sagging Enzo. Big Show was involved. He was helping Enzo a lot out, which made Big Cass like kind of get irritated. But he was just like, yes, I feel like the seeds has been planted. Big guy. Big versus big. Big Show versus Big Cash. I said Cash. I mean, Big Show versus Big Cass. Cass, that's what I meant to say. That's SummerSlam for the right. And then they should have agreement. Whoever wins the next match, the final match between the two, when it gets the right to the big name, like their first name. So they had to change their first name because Big Show versus Big Cass. It's hilarious how they both had Big in their first name. The first name is Big, so interesting. I feel like they did this on purpose, but yeah. Moving on to Finn Balor versus Elias Sanson. Now, I felt like this match should have been on Great Balls of Fire, this and R-Truth versus Goldust, which they had later down the night as well. So, I felt like this should have been on Great Balls of Fire, but the fact that they didn't leads me to believe that the fact that it wasn't, I feel like if it was on pay-per-view, it might have led to another feature match down the line at SummerSlam, but since they didn't have on Great Balls of Fire, they said, screw it, we're going to end the storyline now. So with that being said, Finn Balor versus Elias Samson happened. It was a good match. I mean, by God, Elias Samson, like Elias Samson wrestled in NXT. He didn't wrestle a lot, but like he didn't wrestle a lot as like any other NXT competitor, because he was usually just singing songs and crap. But they really put emphasis on that on the main roster, and he's a main player because the new Raw opening segment they replaced freaking Austin Aries in. Austin Aries, why did you have to leave? I'm gonna be saying that a lot probably. Hang on, the rain, make sure or something. All right, so yeah, they actually Elias Samson is actually part of Raw opening. Usually when opening when WWE, they're the main people. So the fact that he's on in the opening of Monday Night Raw, he's gonna be a main like person on Raw. They're actually gonna treat him right. Again, he's one of the better treated NXT competitors getting called up to the main roster now, starting to rain hard again. He's one of the better competitors getting treated on the main roster. So that's I'm actually glad like someone who's good as Elias Samson. He was good at NXT, but like they've been pushing this. Elias Samson, this is his first official TV loss, one-on-one. Who better than Finn Balor? Like they really had a back and forth match. I would love to see these two guys wrestle again. Elias Samson really gave to Finn Balor. Like Finn Balor legit had a hard time with Elias Samson. So this was like the end of whatever feud they had. I feel like so moving on from this, unless next week Elias Samson interferes in something. I feel like Finn Balor is moving on to Bray Wyatt. Like I said before, Bray Wyatt. Speaking of Bray Wyatt, he was in the main event. Bray Wyatt. I feel like after this week's Raw, he officially ended the Seth Rollins feud because Seth Rollins is obviously doing something else now, which I will reveal shortly. Going into later in Monday Night Raw. So I feel like the whole rumor from the very beginning was Bray Wyatt came to Raw with the Superstar shakeup was he was going to face Finn Balor. So I feel like they're moving into SummerSlam with Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. They just had to do the sub feud with Elias Samson, so to hold over Finn Balor. So now this is over. Great Balls of Fire is over. Now they can actually officially feud into the feud that probably everybody wanted to see, which is why they gave Bray Wyatt the win, both here and on Monday Night Raw, to make him look strong heading into his match against Finn Balor. But overall, Finn Balor, Elias Samson, it was a great match. Let me double check my notes. It wasn't my match. It wasn't my match of the night, but still, it was up there. It wasn't my match of the night though, but it was definitely up there. Next, we had the Hardy Boys come out because after Finn Balor won, I personally thought Finn Balor they was looking for Finn Balor. They was looking at Finn Balor on stage like for a while, for a minute, and I thought Gallows was getting congratulated him so he could finally start freaking Velvet Club. But instead, the Hardys came out because they were the next thing. They were going to talk about. They were talking about how, like, yeah, Cesaro and Sheamus, they got the best of us. In that amazing match of the night match at Great Balls of Fire, and they got the better of us. Now they feel like they still somewhat obsolete and broken, and it's hinting at the fact they might be doing their broken gimmick. And Luke Gallows Carlson came out because it was their scheduled match. And they had a tag team match. It was a good match. I have to give it to you. Finally, for once, Gallows Anderson does not look like a freaking joke. And I say that without, and you probably think, oh, they lost him. No, Gallows Anderson won cleanly, mind you. I feel like I would say it was cleanly. They really didn't do any shady tactics. They was able, Gallows Anderson was able to hit the Magic Killer and Jeff Hardy. I think he was able to hit it on Matt Hardy. Jeff Hardy tried to break the pin, but he was just a second late, and Gallows Anderson won. Like, holy crap. They beat the Hardys. They're the only other team besides Cesaro and Sheamus that actually beat the Hardys ever since their return. So that has to be big for Gallows and Anderson. They might next be in line for the Raw Tag Team titles, and it's like even though they're two heel teams, unless Gallows and Anderson turn face, which would be the most unless the Bullet Club, unless Balor Club is going to be faced down the line, which I don't see. Yeah, I have no problem with Gallows versus Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team titles. You know, it's going to be heel versus heel, unless Cesaro and Sheamus turn face again. It's going to be heel versus heel, basically. So, yeah, that was something else. Also, Anderson won as they was walking, and guess who decided to make their returns? The Revival. Now, yes, we did see Revival with the whole Kurt Angle thing with Enzo and Cass, but this is like their official return. I would like to say this is their official return. After Dash Waller got injured, they came in the ring. They attacked the Hardys, basically beat him while they was already down. Hit the Shadow Machine, I think, on Jeff Hardy. I think it was Jeff Hardy, and just making a statement. Now, obviously, it's probably going to lead into probably one of the anticipated tag team matches maybe for a while. The Hardys versus the Revival. Like, holy crap. Will the Hardys be under their broken gimmick? That's a good question. Will they actually be under their broken gimmick? I have no idea. We're just going to have to wait and see. Overall, though, for this segment, good. Gallows Anderson, glad he got the win, because especially when over the Hardys, it's actually making them serious. I think they realized their tag team division overall is kind of running thin, because if besides Matt and Jeff and Cesaro and Sheamus, there's only Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, and Heath Slater and Rhino. So there's that. Unless there's another tag team I'm not aware of on the Raw roster. If there is, and they're clearly irrelevant. So there's that. Overall, though, good stuff. Good stuff from Gallows Anderson. Hopefully, they might be next in line for the Raw Tag Team titles. Then Dean Ambrose crashes the Mizzies. The Miz had the Mizzies Award, basically the Grammy Award, except for the Miz. Pretty much giving everybody a trophy for their performance in Great Falls of Fire, basically helping Miz retain his Intercontinental title. First, he gave award because it was a tie between Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. It was talking about how there would be nothing without the Miz. Best female supporting role went to Maurice. And Maurice, Maurice played it also pretty like she was shocked that she actually got it. Most highest reward she could have ever gotten. That's what she said. It was hilarious. And then the best actor and best person in WWE award went to he joked it out. He said Dean Ambrose, like Dean Ambrose was like there or something, but no, it was Miz. It did definitely say the Miz. And then he was again berating Dean Ambrose. He did say Dean Ambrose was like the best competitor he like the hardest competitor he had to fight. Then he was name dropping some names. He was name dropping the Hardys, Akira Tozawa, and Seth Rollins, saying how they all lost at Great Balls of Fire. They're all frauds. But then Dean Ambrose came out and tried to get his revenge on The Miz after he got screwed out of the Intercontinental title rematch. The numbers games got back at again as Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas started to attack him. Then Seth Rollins made the save. Former Shield members, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, they was able to take out the Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel, make them running off. But then Dean Ambrose backstage, he was backstage when Seth Rollins was walking. Dean Ambrose saying, "Yo, what the hell is that?" He was like, "Yo, man, I'm just trying to help him, just try to show like, hey, I'm good." Like he was like, "I don't trust you, man. I still never forget what you did when you broke up the show. I still don't trust you." Even though Seth Rollins is the face now, he's like, just stay out of his business. He's like, fine, man, whatever. Now, clearly, there was a rumor going on that there's going to be a team. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins is going to be a tag team now. That's what they're going to do with both of them for the meantime. They're going to be a tag team. I personally have no issue with that. I mean, yes, they are pretty much the top Raw stars besides Roman Reigns, the top faces. I don't consider Roman Reigns a fucking face, but they are the top faces on Raw, essentially. So they are the top two faces on Raw. So for them to be a tag team, I mean, hey, I guess, again, there are really no face tag teams besides the Hardys and Heath Slater and Rhino, but they're considered as jokes. So with that being said, for to be like a credible face team, why not have two of the three former Shield members, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins? Eventually, Roman Reigns could probably get. I feel like I know where it's just going. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins is gonna be a team. They're gonna feud with the Miz, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel. Roman Reigns is somehow gonna get integrated into this. It might be the Shield versus the Miz Taraj, or it could be the Shield versus Balor Club. Who knows? Whenever that happens down the line, it will be something else to see. I can definitely say that it would be something else to see. But yeah, it seems like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are going to be a tag team now. That's good. That's an interesting scenario. I could definitely say that. So yeah, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins is a tag team. Who would have thought? again, I thought like the show when they got disbanded, they went their separate ways, but apparently not. So yeah. Overall, though, good segment from the Miz. I love the Mizzies. I feel like he should have gave out the Miz participation award to Dean Ambrose. That would be hilarious. I love the Miz participation award again. You say at least you tried, because the Miz is awesome. Like, yeah, that was a good segment though. Moving on to the women's division, as Sasha Banks and Bayley fought Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. This is a rematch from their tag team match like previous week. And shockingly, I mean, the match itself was good. And shockingly, I'm the most shocked about the thing I want to talk about the most was the fact that Bayley got the pinfall. Holy crap. Like she was able to get the pinfall, and she actually pinned Alexa Bliss. She pinned the Raw Women's Champion. Like after weeks and weeks of burials from Bayley, she actually got a big pinfall. She could have pinned Nia Jax and whatever, but she pinned the Raw Women's Champion. Like what's going to happen next? I know what this is leading to, so this might actually lead into the Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam. Bayley probably is going to come and tell them, "Hey, since I pinned the champion, I deserve a shot at the title now." So I was thinking, say, "Yeah, that is true, but I never lost my match at Great Balls of Fire. I won, even though I'm not a champion. I still did win. Nia Jax going to get involved, and then Alexa Bliss, we got whatever. It's going to be Raw. It's going to be a Fatal 4-Way." I won't be surprised at all. It's gonna be a Fatal 4-Way. So that's how you do it. So yeah, overall though, the match was fine. I mean, nothing to write home about. Yeah, just shocking that Bayley actually got the pinfall. That made it actually more awesome because Bayley got the pinfall. Nobody was expecting that. That Bayley was gonna get the pinfall. Moving on to Goldust and R-Truth. Now, this has been building for weeks, and also I think almost 2 months. I mean, they did have that one match. They did have a match like last week or 2 weeks ago. You know, it wasn't really on that because Goldust attacked him while he was distracted by the he attacked him while he was distracted. R-Truth. So with that being said, this was actually their official one-on-one match. I think he actually ended the feud. I'm looking at this Raw exclusive video. It says Goldust concludes his Shadow Truth saga. So I think this was their end feud with Goldust and R-Truth. It was a good match though. I felt like it would have felt better. Like it wasn't the match of the night. It was close to being my match of the night. But I felt like it would have felt bigger and the fans would appreciate it more if it was at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. Then it would have felt big. It would have definitely felt big if it was on a Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. But since it wasn't, it was a match. Goldust won. If they were gonna, because it's been a rumor that they're gonna actually do like a big push for Goldust. I don't know who is he gonna be feuding with to be considered a big push. Maybe Finn Balor. I don't know. Yeah, it was a fine match. I just wish it was on Great Ball of Fire to make it feel bigger. I don't know what R-Truth's gonna be doing after this. I really don't know what the hell R-Truth's gonna be doing after this. Goldust, I can see fighting probably Finn Balor, maybe. Who else? Apollo Crews, is he considered a face? Just yeah. I just personally don't know what the hell R-Truth's gonna be doing though. Moving on to probably the segment of the night. Not match of the night, but segment of the night. Hands down, had to be between Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Brock Lesnar. Now, Kurt Angle first came out and congratulated Brock Lesnar. He was going to tell him his future plans for SummerSlam. He was like, I don't give a about that. He was about to leave. Roman Reigns, the attempted murderer, which I felt like if Roman Reigns was going to, I think my food finally cooled down. Just taste it real quick. It was like super hot, guys, I'm telling you. Oh, yeah, this is good. Definitely good. Definitely eat something on my break. I was make sure it was cool down. My mom makes the best food, I'm telling you. Yeah, so where was I? Sorry about that, guys. Roman Reigns, attempted murderer came out and said, hey, I deserve a freaking shot at the Universal title. I did claim, even though you really have any right to, that whoever won the Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar match at Great Balls of Fire, he was going to have to face me at the SummerSlam. And Brock Lesnar, thank you, Brock Lesnar. Because of Brock Lesnar, we got probably the meme of the year, or the G for grief, whatever it's called, of the year. Brock Lesnar said, you don't deserve shit. And because of that, Kurt Angle probably had the best face. Paul Heyman was shocked because he said a curse word on the PG show, and Kurt Angle probably had the best face reaction ever. You have to look, type in Kurt Angle's face, and that's gonna say it all. Like that, it was amazing. It was amazing. I mean, like his face reaction was the best reaction you could have possibly have gotten. Like it was incredible. Kurt Angle's face that made the whole segment. Then Samoa Joe came out and said, "Yo, you survived. You didn't beat me. You survived me." So with that being said, you survived me. I want my shot, but they got at it. Roman Reigns said, "Hey, you don't deserve nothing." Samoa Joe said, "You don't deserve nothing. You lost against Braun Strowman, so you equally don't deserve a shot at the title." And you got, if I was Samoa Joe, I would say you lost to Braun Strowman. You tried to kill him because of that. So why you like bring the fact that he tried to he literally was attempted murder. It was attempted murder. That's literally what it was. Colonel said, "Okay, here's what's gonna happen next week on Raw. Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. We're going to become the number one contender for Brock Lesnar, and that's SummerSlam. We'll face Brock Lesnar. My bad. We'll face Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at SummerSlam." So there's that. They couldn't touch each other. They just all stare down, and that was the end of that segment. But that was segment of the night. I mean, Kurt Angle's face reaction alone was worth that segment. Like, it was incredible. It was incredible. The intensity between all three men was just something to see. And it was just, again, Samoa Joe. I'm glad they did it this route. They could have just said fuck Samoa Joe and just put right into Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. But I feel like it changed. Now the rumored SummerSlam match. Now, okay, there's been so many rumored SummerSlam match for the Universal title. Originally, from the very beginning, it was Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. Since he got injured, it got changed to Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. It was moving the potential WrestleMania match to SummerSlam because the rumor now WrestleMania match is going to be John Cena, which is why he's a free agent, versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. Because of Samoa Joe's performance and how amazing he was during his feud against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, the rumored SummerSlam match is now a fatal four-way. Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman versus Universal Champion Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. I'd rather go that route because all four men deserve to be in that high-key marquee match at SummerSlam. Braun Strowman's performance, Samoa Joe's performance, Brock Lesnar's champion, Roman Reigns because he's Roman Reigns. I mean, you couldn't just leave Roman Reigns out of this, so there's that. So I feel like what's going to happen next week, when the match is going on, Braun Strowman is going to interfere, and because then he's going to say, because I actually won my match at Great Balls of Fire, why am I not in title contention? Currently, say, fine, it's going to be a fatal four-way at SummerSlam. I have no issue with that. If their real goal is to get the title off of Brock Lesnar and give Roman Reigns, this is how they do it. You know, what Roman Reigns be champion. This is how they would do it because now Brock Lesnar will not. He'll still look strong because he won't be pinned. He won't be pinned for the title, so he could Braun Reigns probably gonna pin Samoa Joe or Braun Strowman. So that way Brock Lesnar will not be pinned. He will not look weak. He will not look weak at all. And there you go. There's that. I feel like they're gonna do Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. That probably the Royal Rumble or something or Survivor Series. Who knows? Overall, that was second of the night. Like it was amazing, definitely amazing. Up next is cruiserweights with Akira Tozawa and Cedric Alexander versus cruiserweight champion Neville and Noam Dar. Now, before the match even started, they officially announced that on 205 Live, which I was so glad we'll definitely talk about it. It was like a 9-month journey, people, but we got through it. The feud was going to officially end on Tuesday, which we will definitely cover. Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar and an I Quit match. That was announced. It was going to be on 205 Live. We'll definitely cover that. But in terms of the match itself, it was a good, decent match. Everybody got their things in. For Neville and Kira Tozawa, however, this is where their storyline probably continues. Neville was on the receiving end of the ropes as he got stuck on the rope. Kira Tozawa definitely took advantage of that, and he was able to hit his senton, and he got the pinfall. Now, on which will go over 205 Live, I think that's what – but that went over Neville, which, by the way, that was actually this is the first time Neville actually got pinned. Even though it was a tag team match, this is the first time Neville actually got pinned ever since joining the cruiserweight division. He never got pinned or submitted. I mean, he got submitted by Austin Aries, but they probably won't let you remember that. He got submitted by Austin Aries, but this first time actually got pinned, and Kurosawa with the pin. So this is definitely going to probably lead to a rematch for cruiserweight title for Kurosawa. And with 205 Live, they pretty much reconfirmed that fact. they pretty much reconfirmed that fact. So yeah, but overall, this was a good segment, the only cruiserweight segment of the night for Raw. But this was pretty much just building up to 205 Live with Seth Rollins versus Noam Dar, which I'm so happy because it officially ended this 9-month storyline. Let me make sure I'm correct. November, December, January. 8 months. It was 8 months. My bad. It was close enough though. 8 months storyline between Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander. Let me move on to the main event itself. Match of the night, in my opinion. Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins. It was a good match. I feel like this was actually a lot better than their it was a lot better than their match in Great Balls of Fire. I'm not saying that the Great Ball of Fire match was bad, but I feel like this was much more better because the crowd a lot more into it. Because the crowd does make a match sometimes. The crowd was a lot more into it than they were at Great Balls of Fire. And the good thing is Bray Wyatt still won again. So because they hit Sister Abigail, and he hit God, what he did. He went for a headbutt to the eye. Oh, because that's what he did. I forgot. So basically, Seth Rollins was trying to do his Kingslayer. He was going to hit the Kingslayer, and he reversed it. He did a headbutt to Seth Rollins' injured eye that he did before last time when he hit at Great Balls of Fire. He hits his Abigail for the win. After the match, Bray Wyatt left, and Miz, Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel came to ringside, get his revenge. Seth Rollins for interfering in his business, even though Miz name dropped Seth Rollins, and they started attacking him. Dean Ambrose came out with the save with steel chairs, and yeah, so it looked like Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins on the same page. They have an equal alliance between they take out the Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. And that was the way to end Raw. Actually, I'm lying because near the end of Raw, it was mentioned after the Brock Lesnar segment, Kurt Angle, he revealed the fact that next week he's going to show the world what he's been getting the text messages and phone calls for. What is this all about? What is happening? We're finally going to find out what the hell it is. We don't know. And it ended with an eye-opening, I love you. Who the hell is it? Now, the rumor was going to be Triple H versus Kurt Angle at SummerSlam. I don't know how that was going to lead to Stephanie McMahon returning. Now, apparently it's been scrapped. We don't know what the hell Kurt Angle's going to do. It might be Dixie Carter. It's so many possibilities. Raw is definitely going to be interesting. And it's big because they just announced today. That's why I think Thursday is the best time to do this kind of stuff. They just announced today, immediately following Raw next week. Without anything else revealed, Kurt Angle's going to have an interview. Immediately following Raw, he's going to have an interview. So something big is going to happen. The fact that he's going to have an interview. Something big is happening on Raw. You had to find out. That was Raw. This was a good Raw. Nothing really bad. Again, the segment of the night was the whole promo between Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and Samoa Joe, which will lead into next week's match. I feel like it's going to lead to a part where Braun Strowman's going to interfere and make it a fatal 4-way for SummerSlam. But Kurt Angle, again, it was something else, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next week. Raw is going to be something else. There's that, guys. We'll take a quick, probably 5-minute break, and we are going to go with SmackDown. Take it to one last break. We'll cover 205 Live NXT, and we'll call it a day. So, be right back, guys. Whew, sorry about that, guys. I don't know if you could hear the background. I was watching some YouTube videos. Just decided to eat my meal real quick and just get a new glass of water. And that was pretty much it. Let me just make sure I can hear again. I always gotta make sure I'm that OCD when it comes to that. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we're not gonna take another break. I feel like there's no need. There's only Smackdown, NXT, and 205 Live. Smackdown 205 Live, NXT. See, there you go. That's a better way of saying it. So there's that. We are just going to now talk about Smackdown, which was highlighted by the fact that, again, from last Wednesday, it was Wednesday. Thursday, I think it was Friday. No, scratch that. It was Friday. From last Friday at Madison Square Garden, AJ Styles became the new United States champion. It was at Madison Square Garden live event. So circled around that. What happened? We're about to find out right now. AJ Styles first came out to the ring. So start with AJ Styles. He first came out and he was basically talking about how, yes, he finally did what he said he was going to do. He's a proud person in the United States. He's going to make this title prestigious again. This title means that you are the very best. And he's going to make it prestigious by having something that a former superstar used to do. I mean, not former, but another superstar used to do when he had the title. He didn't name drop him, but we all knew what he was talking about. And do a U.S. Open Challenge. So the new U.S. Open Challenge will start now. He said, whoever wants to come out, let's do it. John Cena, you know, the guy who actually originally made the U.S. Open Challenge, decided to come out. He was jokingly said, so you meant everybody but me, right? He said, no, especially you. I haven't forgot what you did at the Royal Rumble. So now he wants to face him. John Cena's like, you want to fight? Let's fight. Because we United States title. So originally they had the guy announced it, everything. He was like, yeah, for United States title, we thought we actually didn't get the match. We thought it was going to get John Cena versus AJ Styles for United States title. That did not happen because Kevin Owens came out and he interrupted it. He was like, no, nobody wants to see you, John Cena. Nobody cares about you. Why are you still here? Kevin Owens is the best thing ever. He was like, why are you still here? Why? AJ Styles, he said, I'm going to get my title back. What you did was a fluke, basically. I'm going to get my title back. John Cena said, hey, man, if you want to fight, let's just fight. It's whatever. Kevin Owens tried to attack Styles and John Cena, but then Rusev came out and he was going to attack, but then Rusev first came out. He drop kicked him. He drop kicked John Cena, and then Kevin Owens started attacking AJ Styles. And then both Rusev and Styles and Owens able to get a upper hand on both of them. Rusev, they put John Cena accolade because we know Rusev and John Cena fight each other at Battleground. And for Kevin Owens, he was able to get upper hand on AJ Styles, hit him up pop-up powerbomb. This led to being announced for the main event for the first time ever. John Cena and AJ Styles will team up against Kevin Owens and Rusev in the main event. Good opening start. I'm glad it got focused on United States. I feel like, in my personal opinion, I personally feel like United States title is being treated more importantly than the WWE title, which says a lot. Because AJ Styles, Kevin Owens are the main focus pretty much on SmackDown every single week. Yeah, it's Jinder Mahal sometimes, but I mean, AJ Styles, the United States title in general, I feel like is the main most important title on SmackDown. In my personal way, they are booking SmackDown. They make it seem like it's the most important title. But overall, good segment. Glad Styles tried to start US Open Challenge. Seems like it came full circle with the whole AJ Styles and John Cena feud. Now they're actually allies. So there's that. Up next was Jinder Mahal, the WWE champion Jinder Mahal versus Ty Dillinger. I'm so happy, totally because the fact Ty Dillinger was actually in a marquee match against the WWE champion. So it was like, yes. And because of his performance, they would get this opportunity to face the WWE champion. And it was a good showing from. I mean, he brought his best to the modern day Maharaja, but it just again Jinder Mahal is just too buff and beef. So he was able to make it work with Ty Dillinger, hit him with the Kalash, and he announced he was then cut a promo afterwards. He was telling everybody how Randy Orton disrespected him again. He said he's a bit of a family boy. He said, screw it. He's going to show him what fear really is because he's going to bring the Punjabi prison to SmackDown next week. So we're actually right with the Smackdown right before Battleground, the final Smackdown for Battleground. We're gonna be getting we're gonna see Pajai Prison again, first time in 10 years. Holy crap! This is just leading up to our main event at Battleground, which is gonna be Randy Orton versus for the WWE title. It's gonna be Randy Orton versus the WWE champion Jinder Mahal for the WWE title, and the Punjabi Prison match for the first time. The Punjabi Prison match is gonna happen the first time in almost 10 years. Well, 10 years. So. Yeah, I can't wait to see Pajai Prison. I'm gonna see if they updated. Maybe they changed it a little bit. Who knows? Just like how they changed the Elimination Chamber. So like, who really knows? We will definitely see how it's gonna play out next week. It was a good overall. It was a good match between Dillinger and Mahal. Mahal has definitely improved over the past year since he came back. Obviously, he has to. He's WWE champion now, so I expect that. Ty Dillinger, again, I'm glad they're actually giving him something to do because his performance last week was incredible. He made it to the final 3, so it shows something. And I hope that he continues to be on TV. But where does this lead Ty Dillinger? Who could he feud with? I thought he could feud with Mike Kanellis. I thought that was going to be his first feud, but obviously that's been taken by Sami Zayn. As it definitely was shown this past week. Same thing. Who can Ty Dillinger feud? I'm trying to think of all the heels on the roster right now. Aiden English, but he already feuded with him like a brief feud. The other one I could think of is like Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan. It's like it's not that like Corbin. If he wasn't fighting Nakamura, Corbin. Ooh, Ziggler. He could feud with Ziggler. There you go, Ziggler. Perfect. Ziggler. Forgot. Sorry, Dolph. I still love you, but yeah, he can feud with Ziggler, hopefully. Next up, we had Xavier Woods versus Jey Uso after. This is because of the aftermath of that rap battle. That rap battle was still probably the best thing ever, especially with the slanderous thing where don't go radar like your boy Xavier Woods. They kept it out from the rebroadcast of it, so we would never actually get to see what happens after that. But yeah, it was a decent match. I'm glad because Xavier Woods barely gets any time to wrestle because the New Day, as you know, even though it's a 3-man team, really only Big E and Kofi Kingston wrestled. Xavier was only wrestling at the time because Kofi Kingston was still injured at the moment. But yeah, glad Xavier was able to show his stuff in one-on-one action, and he was able to actually get the win with a good, amazing elbow drop. I mean, Xavier Woods he's known for not having a finisher because we don't know his finishers. He has a bunch of finishers: the Honor Roll, Lost in the Woods, and the Midnight Hour. So it's like, yeah. So it's like Xavier Woods can go. So they actually got the win. His options to build up to their match at Battleground for SmackDown Tag Team titles because it will be the Usos versus New Day again for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Good segment from Xavier Woods, Jey Uso. Good showing for both of them too. Again, they can fight. You get tag teams can have good one-on-one matches. They don't have to just be in tag teams. The reason why they're tag team because they're good at singles competitors, so they're going to try to tag team. And the New Day has been dominant ever since they came a team back in 2014, and so is the Usos. They've been both of them on a roll. Come head to head again at Battleground. Who's going to win? Now, originally, Shinsuke Nakamura and Baron Corbin was supposed to happen tonight. That it was advertising yesterday on SmackDown. I mean, the night before Raw for SmackDown. It was supposed to happen, but it never happened because Baron Corbin attacked Nakamura during his entrance, so the match never came about. Those two was fighting each other. Security had to hold him back. It was a ruckus brawl. It was something else. So instead, at Battleground, this is going to happen with SmackDown. It's going to happen at Battleground. Shinsuke Nakamura will face Baron Corbin one-on-one. It's probably going to be the hardest hitting matches you'll probably see on the main roster. These two are just hard hitting people. So I mean, I'm glad I knew they weren't going to get the match away on TV. It was obvious. I was just trying to see how to get themselves out of this situation, and they did. So we'll see it on Battleground next Sunday. So there's that. I had no issue with it, the ending whatsoever at all. So I'm glad, definitely glad about what happened. Oh, do not want to play the video. Do not want to play that video. All right, so Then we move on to Natalya and Tamina versus Charlotte and Becky. First things first, it was revealed backstage next to Shane McMahon that at Battleground will be a fatal 5-way elimination match to determine the #1 contender for Naomi Smackdown Women's title at SummerSlam, which will feature Charlotte, Becky, Tamina, Natalya, and Lana. By the way, Naomi's title is a brand new title because now they actually changed the center plate of the SmackDown Women's title to make it glow. So it's literally a brand. They didn't just put lights on the title. They literally took out the center plate and just made the back of it glow. So holy crap, her title though. That's all I can say. But this led into a tag team match with Charlotte and Becky versus Tamina and Natalya. It was a fine match except for the ending. I just cannot justify that ending because this makes Charlotte look like an idiot. Charlotte, well, first of all, I don't blame Charlotte because she didn't see the tag because Natalya was able to tag it to Tamina while Charlotte seeing it. Okay. You see Tamina come into the ring about to hit you with the super kick, and you still insisted on trying to do the freaking figure 4 bridge to figure 8. That's your fault, Charlotte. You saw her, and you saw her get in the ring, and you still was looking at her like, screw it. What the hell, Charlotte? What the hell? That's why you guys lost. So, yeah. I'm glad Becky wasn't the one who got pinned, though, but yeah. It was to the fatal 5-way match. Carmella was also backstage, though, but she wasn't really doing anything. She really does have to. She doesn't even have to be in the match because this is a #1 contender match. She already has the Money in the Bank, so I can understand why she's not in the match. So there's that. The match was fine. It was just I can't justify that ending because Charlotte was like a freaking idiot. This led into the next one, Sami Zayn and Maria Mike Kanellis. Maria was actually looking for Sami Zayn in the locker room before she met Chad Gable, and it didn't work. Sami Zayn was able to finally see Maria and Mike. He was like, "Did you guys want me?" Maria wanted Sami to apologize. He was like, "For what? What's the point?" Sami Zayn was just getting Maria and Mike irritated, and he was giving them some backlash for their request. And Maria got irritated. She said, "All right, screw you," and she slapped him, which made Mike Kanellis hit him with the vase over the head. And Maria said, "You know what the message that was? Love hurts." So, yeah, there's that for Maria. Yep, there was that for Maria, though. That was something else indeed. It's obviously leading into, it's not, the match wasn't made official, so I can't really officially say for sure. I don't know why I'm going all the way down. What am I looking for? Okay. I'm looking for something. Okay, doesn't matter. Does not matter whatsoever. But essentially, what happened with that is I'm trying to say is that eventually, it wasn't official. They're going to lead into AJ Styles. I'm not saying AJ Styles. I was looking at something news about the DVD for AJ Styles. Leading into Sami Zayn versus Mike Bennett or Kanellis, as he like to call now, his official in-ring debut probably at Battleground. Would make sense. I'm just reading about AJ Styles' new DVD. I hope he's not on the kickoff show. I really hope Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis not on the kickoff show because then you will be able to really show how big Mike Kanellis can be. He could be a top heel, and then he gets you with Ty Dillinger. That's probably who we all want to see on SmackDown. Ty Dillinger. Just give Ty Dillinger just something, for God's sakes. Give Ty Dillinger something. Let me move on to the main event itself. John Cena and AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Rusev in the tag team match. This is actually the very first time that Cena and Styles teamed up, as they're both faces. Well, Cena's always been a face. AJ Styles is a face now, so the first time they actually team up. Very good main event. I love the chemistry count. That was the Rusev. They're hilarious. Um, but what happened was Cena was able to hit Hey on Kevin Owens, I think. Yeah, he was able to. They got the pinfall victory. It was a good solid main event. At the end, Matt Cena hinted like he was gonna like, yo, I'm facing you next, but you just show respect to AJ Styles. I feel like their feud became full circle now. They started hating each other's guts. Hating each other's guts because they felt like John Cena is not a wrestler and he doesn't deserve to be here anymore. He tells John Cena basically, you don't deserve to be here. You're just an indie guy from Japan, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like it became full circles. They're now probably best of besties, as you like to call it, Cena and AJ Styles. But also the one thing as well, they also announced before the match even started at Battleground, because it was speculation whether or not the match was going to happen since Styles won at Madison Square Garden for the United States title. It wasn't supposed to happen because they were supposed to have the match at Battleground, but they officially announced now it's going to be United States champion AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, because now AJ Styles is the champion for the United States title at Battleground. Overall, SmackDown was fine. The match tonight, what was the match of the night? Go back to my list. I feel like the match tonight, in my personal opinion, was Xavier Woods versus Jey Uso. It was a good match. So that Kevin Owens and Rusev versus Cena and Styles was good, but I feel like Xavier Woods and Jey Uso was good solely because like you see how good Xavier Woods actually is when you can actually let him wrestle. He's actually very good. We move on to 205 Live, centered around the final match between Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar and the I Quit match. We are definitely going to get to that. But a lot of stuff also happened on 205 Live. I feel like, again, 205 Live, I feel like it's gotten better. Very, very bad. I always loved it. 205 Live, in my opinion, it was a solid show. The fans were never into it, but I feel like the fans are starting to really get into it now. Less people are leaving and stuff, though. I need something to drink. First things first, in the show first. Remember I was about Raw. I was saying how like they hinted at the fact that since Akira was able to pin Neville, Tyson Hill saying how that was all boost he needed to get him a rematch again. So we don't know if it's official or not. He would say that's the that was the thing that he needed to allow him to talk the officials to get a rematch, more likely Kurt Angle. But then Davari interrupted their conversation, which led to a match between the two. I think they already had a scheduled match anyway. No contest because when Hughes was out, looked like he's about to hit the senton. Neville attacked it from behind. Again, probably very, very pissed off because he was very pissed off. Probably because of the fact that it's the first time he got pinned ever since coming to the Cruiserweight division. So he made sure Akira Tozawa, he made Akira Tozawa realize he made a very big mistake in doing that, which left him on the ground. So we got Davari with a no contest. But again, this is leading into that rematch that they've been hitting at before, and especially on Monday, to Akira Tozawa versus Neville. I personally believe this will not happen at SummerSlam. They're gonna have it probably within another 2 weeks or so. And then they're going to move into Enzo. But if the Enzo has the heat that I think he has, maybe it might have changed. Who knows? Maybe. I still believe that SummerSlam is going to be, if Enzo joins the Cruiserweight division, it's going to be Enzo versus Neville, because they need a top babyface Cruiserweight now since Austin Aries is gone, so they need a top babyface Cruiserweight. I feel like Enzo is that top babyface Cruiserweight that they need. I guess now for Cruiserweight title. Moving on, Rich Swann did fight Mario Connors. We expect it to be a jobbers match, but not at all. Mario Connors really brought it to Rich Swann. But this was a storyline between discontinued storyline between TJP and Rich Swann. TJP, after the match, he was sitting at ringside anyway watching the match. Before the match started, he came out, was watching the match. He told Rich Swann, hey, it was a good match, but I could probably beat him in less time. And he showed the counter, it was 3 minutes something. And then he beat him in like 30-something seconds. So he's trying to trying to outdo Rich Swann. I personally thought the feud was over because he beat TJP last week, but I thought that was going to be a face turn for TJP. Apparently not. So they're probably going to be feuding a little more over again. I don't know how this is going to end. I was going to say best 2 out of 3 falls, but that's not going to happen because it's definitely not going to happen now. So there's that. Because of Mustafa Ali and Drew Gulak could be facing each other next week, 2 out of 3 falls. So I don't know how the hell they're going to end that. Maybe it could be a ladder match, first ever cruiserweight ladder match. And the winner will become number 1 contender for the cruiserweight title. So with that being said, it was a 5-second. Again, that Mario Connors guy, who I thought was a jobber, really gave it to Rich Swann. So there's that. Moving on from to the whole situation between Brian Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Brian Kendrick came out to Gentleman Jack Gallagher's music, saying that again he's just a second-rate or third-rate William Regal, and you're just pathetic. Jack Gallagher came out and said again, now you're just mocking me, and now you think this is a joke. I'm serious now. Jack Gallagher is actually serious now, and he just attacked Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick get upper hand again with the umbrella, just smashing him on the back with the umbrella over and over again. Brian Kendrick stood tall. It's going to be a match between the two. I don't know when they're actually going to fight. I'm just glad to see Brian Kendrick is actually doing something ever since his loss against. So maybe Brian Kendrick might come out on this field on top because I feel like he needs more. He could be a top heel again. You know, he is a top heel, and he's the only other top heel in 205 Live. And I love his current gimmick of just parrying or just wearing these different outfits and stuff. It's hilarious to me. Moving on to the actual main event, the one I want to talk about the most. Cedric Alexander versus Noam Dar. This 8-month feud is concluded in an I Quit match. I'm irritated now. The match itself was, you can say what it was good or bad. It was decent. It was not the best I Quit match I ever seen in my life. But this was pretty much a marquee cruiserweight match that they've been building up to for almost 8 freaking months. The aggression between these, like the aggression and selling made it believable. I could definitely say that. Noam Dar lost sadly because at the end of the match, basically had Cedric Alexander have Noam Dar's hand between the chair. He would say, "Quit, or I will break your freaking arm." Basically, he said no. He just kept smashing it until Noam Dar eventually said, "Fine, I quit," because his arm could be freaking broken and shattered. Cedric Alexander finally went to the feud. It's finally over. It's over. The whole Alicia Fox thing is over. And I can say this time with a guarantee there's no, it's over next week to do it. That was officially over because Noam Dar officially broke up with Alicia Fox. He revealed that he's just been using her the whole time because he's someone like Alicia Fox. He was able to start his career much more easier because he already had a bright future because he's the youngest WWE superstar signed in recent memory, and he's the youngest person on Cruiserweight roster, and on Raw. So he was just using her, and now he's officially done. I love this because this probably made Cedric Alexander probably one of the top people in 205 Live now. He has to be definitely. You know, Cedric Alexander won the match. The performance that Noam Dar has done throughout this program for the past 8 months, it was his actions alone that pretty much saved the storyline being an utter failure. Holy Fox thing was just something else, but I'm so glad it's over now. We can move on from this, and now Cedric Alexander's probably going to be the next line for a cruiserweight title match. I feel like Noam Dar deserves first. That's just me. I feel like he deserves it first. I have no problem seeing Noam Dar versus if Neville versus Enzo doesn't have his at SummerSlam, or if Neville, and I'm cross fingers, Neville versus Grand Metalik doesn't happen at SummerSlam, I would rather see Noam Dar versus Neville, face Noam Dar versus Neville at SummerSlam. Or fuck it, have 2 cruiserweight matches, Neville versus Enzo and Noam Dar versus Grand Metalik. I love to see Noam Dar versus Grand Metalik feud. That would be something else to say the least. So yeah, 205 Live, very good. I'm so glad I ended the night with the match 8 months in the makings. Basically, this 8-month feud finally ended with Alicia Fox and Cedric Alexander. So I'm happy about that. And that was 205 Live. Next up, make sure I can hear my voice. NXT, which was highlighted by Heavy Machinery versus the Authors of Pain in a tag team match. So there was that. It was highlighted by that. And also Jay Gargaro's return. First things first, Aleister Black. He fought the debuting Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish, who is from Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. He officially made his debut. He really gave it. Here he has a profile on freaking Daily. That was fast. That was definitely fast. Holy crap. So he's actually a main player now. They literally already have his profile up. Amazing. That was fast. that was fast. That was literally came out yesterday. Well, that was definitely fast. Aleister Black, he actually had a hard time for the first match. I think since him and Cassius don't know, Bobby Fish Cass Owens really gave it to Aleister Black because he actually had a hard time in this match. You could not put Bobby Fish away like that. It wasn't that easy. So Aleister Black still won the match with the Black match, but still what a showing from Bobby Fish. Now I know he's all about. I never personally knew the guy from the independent scene, so it's nice to see who he is. I heard his name a couple times, never actually really saw him in action. Bobby Fish, his work with the legs and stuff is very something. It's something to see. Probably one of them could be probably the best technician probably on NXT if they give him a chance. So glad to see what's gonna be happening Bobby Fish soon. But Aleister Black won. I don't know what Aleister Black could be doing at Brooklyn, so who knows what's gonna be happening there. Next up was a qualifying match with Vanessa Bourne versus Jamie. I'm probably butchering their damn names. Versus Jamie Hike or Hackey in a Mae Young Classic. Vanessa Bourne won. It was a decent match. I mean, it came out of nowhere, so I wasn't really that much into it. So they just really came out of nowhere with that one. So yeah. Vanessa Bourne won, so we'll see her in the Mae Young Classic. Johnny Gargano returned and he addressed his future. He was saying how Tommaso Ciampa, he betrayed him and left him silent for nearly 2 months. And he said said that again, Tommaso ended their DIY tag team. It's not over for him. He's gonna be going back to Johnny Wrestling again, and his future he wants to fight at TakeOver Brooklyn. We don't know what's going to be the result at TakeOver Brooklyn. We don't know what hell is going, what his opponent's going to be. I'm pretending again, I didn't read the spoilers that just happened. Tapings yesterday. So, yeah, I already know who his opponent is going to be at TakeOver Brooklyn. So there's that. But, yeah, Johnny Gargano, glad that he's back. Sadly, Tommaso Ciampa's injured. So, the potential match between him and Gargano at TakeOver Brooklyn, which was probably originally supposed to be at TakeOver Brooklyn, instead is probably going to be side, which basically says Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa will be in NXT for a while until they have that match that we probably all want to see. Probably going to be at the TakeOver at WrestleMania. That's probably when Tommaso is going to be back. So probably going to be at the TakeOver at WrestleMania. That would make the most sense. Main event, Tony Authors of Pain versus Heavy Machinery in a tag team match. It was good. I'm probably heavy hitting matches I've seen in a while. Heavy Machinery. Dozovic is he's hilarious. I really like the guy. Between the two, Tucker Knight and Dozovic, really enjoy. I really do enjoy Otis. So he is something else. Authors of Pain won. It took a lot for them to win. I mean, Rizar got knocked down. It took a lot. They won, but I wouldn't say it was a dominant match. It wasn't. The Heavy Machine really gave it to them. So they lost. Heavy Machine are good. But now we know. I guess the Authors of Pain next thing, which I've been talking about the whole show. I was like, how they could have a heel versus heel tag team because Sanity came out and they were showing now, hey, we ripped up all your pages from the Book of Pain and we now whatever. They look like they're setting their sights on Sanity and the NXT tag team titles. And again, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't read the NXT tapings, but it looks like the next challengers for the NXT tag team titles is going to be the Sanity, which is something. It'll be the first time in a while that a heel team versus the heel team will happen, especially for a title. Overall, NXT was fine. I'm glad to see Johnny Gargano back. We won't be able to get to Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano, but hey, at least he's back. Bobby Fish made his debut. And Sanity looks like they're going to be the first step in probably having their true goal, which is to have all the gold in NXT. And that was it for NXT, and that was it for today's This Week in Wrestling. Thank you guys for watching. If you like today's edition of This Week in Wrestling, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and again, if you didn't hear me before, This Week in Wrestling is now officially moved to Thursday, so you can catch it every Thursday now, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, guys, this is Crater signing off. Catch you guys later. See ya.